Welcome to this Introduction to Music Fundamentals B video. And in this one, we're going to be concentrating on melodic minor scales. Before I start this particular video, I just want to make sure that you are always referring back to your textbook. It's important that you remember that the textbook and these videos work together to reinforce what we're learning in Introduction to Music Fundamentals B, but also that you're working through the weekly worksheets, because this is where you're going to be able to practice what we're learning. It's no good only watching these videos and reading the textbooks, because that won't help you really. You've actually got to use this theory for it to sink in deeply and for you to do well with it and to be able to use it really. And that's the whole point, is you want to be able to use this theory in writing your own music or notating music for other people. So important, please always refer to your textbook and then practice the examples in the worksheets. So in this video, we're going to be looking at melodic minor scales, but let's just revise what we've done about scales so far. Firstly, a major scale and its relative major are related by a minor third, and they share the same key signature. Now, I've shown you in the last video how to see which keys are related by looking at that table that we learned how to use. Okay, there are three types of minor scale: the natural minor scale, which we learned about in the last video, the harmonic minor scale, which we also learned in the last video, and today we learn about the melodic minor scale. A natural minor scale shares exactly the same notes as its relative major. It just starts a minor third lower. So for example, if you look at your table and you look for E flat major, you'll see it has 3 flats. The relative minor is C minor. It also has the 3 flats. If we just wrote C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, that would be the natural minor on C. Okay, it shares exactly the same notes as the major scale. The harmonic minor scale, on the other hand, is the natural minor scale, but the 7th note is raised by a semitone. So let's use that same example. Let's say we were working with E flat major, but we want to write C harmonic minor. They are related. They have the same key signature. So this time it would be C, D, E flat, F, G, A. The B would normally be a B flat, but we want to raise it by a semitone because it's the 7th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it was a B flat. We take it up a semitone, is a B natural, and C. That's the harmonic minor scale. Now the melodic minor scale is a little bit more complex than that, because it has 2 versions. It has one version for going up and one version for going down, and that's what makes it slightly more complicated. So let's first look at the ascending version, the going up version. In this particular version, we do exactly the same as we did before by looking for the relative minor, but both the 6th and the 7th note must be raised, not just the 7th note as when we were working with the harmonic minor scale. So I've chosen to use A minor scale here. A minor scale is related to C major. It has no sharps or flat. If you look at your table, you'll see how that works. Okay? They have no sharps or flats. That would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. If we were working with the harmonic minor, we would have raised the 7th note, A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A. Now when we are working with the ascending melodic minor, we have to raise the 6th and the 7th. A, B, C, D, E, F, sharp, G, sharp, A. Okay. Now, what you will notice if we compare the harmonic and the melodic ascending minor scales is what the difference is here with the tones and the semitones. Remember, in the last video, I spoke about the big gap between the 6th note and the 7th note, that it was a tone plus a semitone. Okay? Now, what happens in the melodic minor scale is that big gap is cleaned up. So let's have a look at the scale just underneath that. You'll see that the harmonic is at the top, the melodic is at the bottom. Now we just have tones and semitones. Do you see that? Tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So it's smoothed out all of the notes so that they're just tones and semitones. And this is where the name melodic minor scale comes from. Okay, melodic comes from melody. It means that melodies are used, or this scale is used for writing melodies. The harmonic minor scale comes from the word harmony, and the harmonic minor scale is used mainly for writing chords. Okay? So the melodic minor scale is for writing melodies. The harmonic minor scale is for writing chords. That's where their names come from. Now we've dealt with the ascending melodic minor. Now we need to work with the descending part of it. Okay. So we said that the 6th and the 7th degrees are raised when you're going up. The 6th and the 7th degrees are lowered when you come down. So if you look at the screen now, you'll see I'm using the A minor scale again. And you'll see that I've written the F sharp and the G sharp going up. But then when I've got to the top A, when I come down again, the G sharp becomes a G natural and the F sharp becomes an F natural. Okay, so basically the melodic minor scale, when it goes up, has 2 sharps added, or is raised by 2 semitones, the 6th and the 7th, but those semitones are naturalized when you come down. An important note is that the descending version of the melodic minor scale is actually the natural minor scale. Do you see that? If you look at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of that scale, from the highest note to the lowest note, when it's descending, you'll see that that looks exactly the same as the natural minor scale. Okay, so this scale is really a combination of 2 different types of scales. Now, if you are asked to write the melodic minor scale ascending only, then you need to follow the steps for creating the natural minor scale and raise the 6th and the 7th degrees by 1 semitone. So let's just imagine an example. Let's say you were asked to write the melodic minor scale for F minor. Okay, if you go to your table of keys, you'll see that F minor has 4 flats. So you need to find out what the relative major key is. It's A flat, and now you know what the key signature is. It would be B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Okay. Now if we are going up in that scale, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. Now we've got a D flat, but it needs to go up a semitone, so it's D natural. The E flat also needs to go up a semitone, so it's E natural, and F. That would be the ascending melodic minor scale. Remember, 6th and 7th go up a semitone. But if you are asked to write the melodic minor scale descending only, so only the descending version, then you just write the natural minor scale. So in this case, if we were working with F melodic minor and it was going downwards, you would just write the key signature and all of the notes going down. No raised 6th or 7th, because this is the descending version. Sometimes raising the 6th and 7th degrees of a scale will require different accidentals. So far we've worked with all the same accidentals. But let's look at G melodic minor scale ascending. You'll see that G melodic minor has got 2 flats. It's related to B flat major. The 2 flats are B flat and E flat. And if we look at that scale, if the notes go G, A, B flat, C, D, then it should be E flat. But we've got to raise the 6th degree because this is a melodic minor. And so that becomes E natural. But we've also got to raise the F, and the F becomes an F sharp. So you'll see that on one of the notes is a natural sign, one of them is a sharp sign. That is completely okay for certain scales, particularly in the melodic minor scales when you're working with the flat keys. Okay, that's going to happen fairly regularly. So don't worry if you get two different accidentals, but you followed all of the steps correctly. Now, the important thing with minor scales, as it was with major scales in the last semester, is that you have to practice writing them out. It may sound daunting when you watch the videos about how to create minor scales, but in practice, if you just keep on doing it over and over, and the worksheets provide many examples for you to do this, you will get better and better at it. The other thing that I want to point out is that the best way to learn is to make mistakes. We usually learn more from our mistakes than we learn from our successes. So if you make mistakes in your worksheets, you do not need to be embarrassed, as long as you work out what the problems were so that next time you learn from your mistakes. Then you'll find that you begin to excel with these things. The other thing which is important is that many of you will not have used the minor scale before. The major scale is by far the most popular for most music. But I encourage you to experiment with the minor scale and its very beautiful sound. Okay? You'll find that even some of traditional Zulu music has minor qualities. It's not really the minor scale, and we'll look at that at a later stage. It's not a minor scale, but it has minor inflections occasionally. So if you listen to some of the songs of Princess Magogo, for example, you'll hear melodies that have these kind of minor inflections. But you'll also hear songs that have major inflections. Depends on which bow Princess Magogo was using and which scale they were related to. So it's important to hear, even in local music, local traditional music, that these scales are very much apparent and a part of what we do and how we make music. But the minor scale needs a bit more practice because it has these interesting intervals that take some time for our ears to get used to. Try singing these scales up and down, feel what they are like, try to create some melodies in them, try to create a new song in these scales so that you get the feel for how they work. And that's where we end today.